So we are live.
Yeah, just give a minute because we still have just few people waiting in room. So let them just come in. We'll start at 4, in 2 minutes exact. I guess we should start.
Hi guys. Hey Sam, hey Pallavi. We all were like mute.
Hey, hi.
Hello, hello.
So hi guys, welcome to yet another episode. Hi guys, welcome back to yet another webinar hosted by BabyChakra, this time in association with Flipkart. We're very happy to have you, Pallavi. I love doing these webinars with them. There's so much to learn. There's so much to know, tell, share, man. That's how online life is. So on the panel, I have with me Simone Khambata. I'm sure she's a very popular name. Yeah. She is a very popular fashion designer from Bombay. Label is called Simply Simone. In 2017, with the birth of her son Zephyr, Simone was inspired to start her own mom blog. And after noticing a gap in this market, she was like, hey guys, I'm going to help people out. And since then, Simone has grown like leaps and bounds. And recently she was blessed with a baby girl. And now she also has a very successful YouTube channel called Mama Says, in which I do a lot of features with her. And we also have with us Pallavi, who's an associate director, head women's western wear business at Flipkart. And she's a mom of 2.5 years old daughter, Aliza. And I love that name, Aliza.
Thank you.
Were you inspired by that movie?
Not really. That was like my husband's choice. And we actually realized later that, that commonality.
So Pallavi, brings with her 8-year experience at Flipkart. She's handled different businesses in lifestyle division, and I've seen a lot of categories grow from zero to crores of business that they're doing today. And she's also an MBA from IIFT. So welcome my panelists, guys. Please give me some claps in the chat box. Also, so today's webinar is all about, the second wave that's hitting us, safeguarding our children's mental health, their physical health during the lockdown. We've all gone through enough, and I'm just too nervous. The third wave is just coming and hitting us. We all are prepping up for it already. So in the first phase, what happened? Let's just think about it. Let's just break it down. In the first phase of lockdown, which was very challenging and very, very new for all of us, I learned especially, I had never lived without a maid, and how our staff just ran away. Kids got into online schooling, which they are bunking almost every day. Their YouTube channels are on the side. My little one, who's 5 years old, also has a YouTube channel along class, and it scares the hell out of me. I caught her yesterday. We, also learned to deal with this whole family time. There was an overdose of it. Initially it was very good, but then of course it got to us. Let's be honest about it. And living with and I live in a joint family, and some of us, I'm sure, do. So imagine staying together with, there's no personal space, was getting to all of us. Just when we thought we were ready for the second wave, or we were preparing for the second, no, actually the second hit us actually. We were ready for the second at least. It just hit us really bad. It became very tough for us to handle the second wave. So, but how was the second wave for you? What were your challenges? And Pallavi, then you also let us know, what were yours?
So, I think, of course, globally, we all went through challenges, and especially in our country, because the second wave hit us that much harder. But I think we, like even in this moment, I'm vocalizing how I feel about it, right? My kids obviously were unable to vocalize how they feel about it. For them, it was just going from one extreme to the other. and
They're too
bouncing.
young.
They don't understand what's going on. Automatically, obviously, that built up a lot of frustration. It built up a lot of anxiety. And the thing was that as a parent, I had to ensure that I wasn't anxious and frustrated in front of them, which in actuality, I was really, really anxious, right? I was so scared. Who was it? Like, what was going on? Every day, someone we knew was dying, and someone was, like critical and looking for hospital beds. Nothing was available. And that was just us as adults. And the kids, I think it was seriously traumatic for them. I can video call you, Harpreet, and I can chat with you, and we can kind of get over the fact that we're feeling lonely, but a child can't do that. And I think it's been really traumatic for children. This entire experience has been far worse for kids than it has been for adults, for sure.
And Pallavi, what about your thoughts on this?
Absolutely. I mean, totally agree with what Simon just said. I mean, the second wave was just so real. I would say for me, for example, if the first wave was more of news, second wave was just here. It was touching everybody in my life, everybody in anybody's life.
So scary. So scary. I had not seen that so close.
I agree. So that way, I think second wave was much, much higher in intensity, but I would say, and especially for kids, right? I mean, they just love outdoors, right? I mean, and they are asked to sit just in the four walls of a house every day, doing the same routine, following the same routine, get up, class, then you do something with your screens. And I mean, there's absolutely nothing which they're looking forward to. Name a place which they love. They love parks, they love malls, they love zoo. I mean, shopping malls, they just can't go there. And I'll just tell from my personal experience, like my kid is 2.5-year-old right now, and she was about just over a 1-year-old when this first wave had hit us. And these concepts are so theoretical for her. I mean, she doesn't know what a plane is. I mean, she doesn't know what a train looks like. What's the feeling of an airport or a zoo? She just knows these from storybooks, and she's like, hey, Mama, what is there? When will we go there?
And like my daughter Pallavi always says that, I said, what school do you go to, Aya? She does online classes. She doesn't know, she goes to a proper school and an online, but she doesn't understand the school's name. Online classes, Mama. And I feel you. I feel so miserable about it. That they have no clue what a plane looks like, or as an inside, or a train, or outside.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, even my kid, I mean, I just enrolled her for a prep school, and she's like, "Meri class hai," but she doesn't know the concept of school. I mean, she says that, that bhaiya goes to school, some of her cousins go to school, but I go for an online class. Yeah, exactly. That's what you said, right? She doesn't know what the feeling of a school is, for that matter. But yeah, I mean, just imagine them, they can't go out, and every day their parents are obviously busy. They have their own office, they have their own set of home chores to look after, and they are ignored by their parents, sitting confused, bored, and they just can't express, right, what they are feeling. There's so much of pent-up energy, and they don't know what to do with it.
Did you guys notice any behavioral changes? Like with my son, my daughter also. इन्होंने छोटे-छोटे झूठ बोलने शुरू कर दिए. I realized my kids were never like. They always came up to me and they spoke about everything, because now what they were doing was everything was online. They're changing screens and they're doing those small lies. And I always tell them that come up, open and tell me, but they feel, what bunking school concept was for us, YouTube on the other panelists for them. And they have these small lies with me, and so I felt my kids started lying a lot. I don't know what was the association of lying and corona, but my kids, they're manipulating me. I just felt cheated. I felt that, why would you not come out and talk to me? Am I too busy for you to come and tell me anything? But they said, no. So they find things very funny. They find discipline very weird. Why do we have to get up? There is no school now, so why do we have to get up early in the morning? There's no physical school. Why? What is the lunch time? We can have lunch. Can I have everybody on mute? I'm so sorry. So what is the fixed lunch time? What is this play time? It's all ours now. So school khul gaye hai, thoda sa discipline aa gaya hai. But they got into this kind of behavior. Did you see any behavioral changes with your kids?
So, my kids are really small. My son is 3.5 and my daughter is 2. My daughter was 7 months old when the pandemic struck. In my case, I did see my otherwise very happy-go-lucky little infants and toddlers suddenly becoming very anxious, overtly cranky. The tantrums were just driving me crazy. At the same time, I can't scream because I know that that's bad parenting. So what I actually did is I took the help of clinical kind of therapist.
Shared. This is lovely.
Yeah, of course.
You're talking about it is lovely, you know, where people hide and shy. So
there's nothing to be shy about. You know what the
something Simone came out with on a live that we spoke. So I took one help, Simone took another help. And this is so good. We're sharing this for you all to know that it's normal to seek help outside. You know, it's normal to meet and talk to a doctor if you're going through something. I'm going through a lot with my son right now. You know, he's in the pre-teen stage. And even Simone, and her kids are really young, but she still went out and took help. And I want everybody to realize that it is normal to do it. Please, Simone, I want you to talk a little
bit. So, you know, the reason I did that is because I know that in our generation, forget about our parents' generation. For them, they don't understand mental health, right? For them, mental health, matlab mental hai. You know, so in our generation, I've seen the amount of my friends who have experienced severe mental health issues. Now, as a mother who is that much more aware, I know that if I am able to spot something in my child when they're a baby and actually correct my own behavior towards my child, thus being able to change my child's behavior, what that's going to do in the long run is my son won't grow up with mental health issues because he will be able to tackle them much better than I am able to at this age, because he would learn those life skills as he grows up. So I think to be aware as a parent and to accept that every child has gone through some form of anxiety in this entire situation in the past year, and what we as parents need to do to address that correctly is of absolute importance, you know. And yes, Harpreet, I think it's very important to talk about mental health because it's real. I mean, 99.99% of us are dealing with some form or some level of mental health issues, right? Yes. Mental health issues aren't only as dire as a schizophrenia or a chronic depression. It can just be fear and anxiety of daily life. And how to cope with that is so important. And I think this pandemic, Baba, has really taught us how
all life skills.
Yeah, all life skills.
So yes, tell us about your experience. Your daughter is really young.
Actually, my daughter is young, but actually one very major change that I saw in both the waves when lockdown had actually hit was a huge addiction to screens. So we were a very, very anti-screen kind of family.
Mommy, I'm
the
busy with
perfect
some work
plan.
till 5:30. I will call you after that, okay?
Sorry.
Yeah. So we always had planned that, we'll never expose her to unnecessary screen time, but then there were no support, no mates, nothing. So that was the natural transition and the easiest transition that we could think of. And we could feel it that as soon as she, went into watching more and more of screen, she got more cranky. I mean, these things are so addictive and so stimulating for these young kids and young guys. They get tired and they get cranky. Sorry.
I want to share something here. Like 2.5, my daughter's 4, and she was showing her dadi yesterday. So she saw some YouTube video in which the mother is hitting the daughter, and daughter says, "मैं घर छोड़ के जा रही हूँ." My daughter showing her dadi and saying, "देखो, वो भी घर छोड़ के जा रही है." I don't know what is the screen time doing to them. So अगर मुझे किसी ने हाथ लगाया तो मैं घर, she's 4.5, मैं घर छोड़ के चली जाऊँगी. I was thinking, what is her age to even consume all this kind of content?
Yeah.
I know, come up with these kind of dialogues. So yes, I feel you, these younger kids. Please continue. I was enjoying. मुझे याद आ गया आपके online screen time से ये बात.
No, I was just saying absolutely. I mean, the one is the exposure of content, and second is obviously, I mean, they get tired, they get cranky, and so we had to actually deliberately step in and make a very, very conscious effort, right? That we need to minimize it. I mean, we need to see how we can probably have some alternative engagement activities for her, some puzzles, some games, something innovative that, we can do some art and craft. But yes, that definitely demands our bandwidth, our time, our, cutting out of schedules, etc. But I think that was a very, very big necessity of that time. Otherwise, she was actually going into a different dimension in terms of, that addiction to screen and the crankiness, I would say.
So life is all about online now. Can you believe it? We have come, and I've been a mall girl all my life, and I used to work at a mall, and I always thought these online is never going to work. But see, things have changed, and I want to know what measures are you guys taking to keep your kids happy and engaged? Because अब सब कुछ online है. So मेरी life, I think, what gives me this happiness? I don't know. आपके साथ सब है कि मुझे जानना है कि सब ये मैं normal हूँ या सभी सब कुछ normal है और ऐसे ही होता है. मुझे हर रोज रात को online shopping करनी होती है. मुझे लगता है कि मुझे 2-4 चीजें कार्ट में डालनी है, एंड अब तो आपने भी खोल दिया है फ्लिपकार्ट क्विक. the 90 minutes delivery.
Yeah.
So I was making fruit cream and there was no fruit at home, and I did Flipkart quick, and 90 minutes my things were here. I want to know, do you guys also, do you guys have this guilt prank that you want to just shop something and feel good about yourself? Or even for kids, I want to know. So my son and I have a deal. Every week he has to get something, कुछ online है, तो he chooses कि मुझे ये चाहिए या ये चाहिए या pencil, whatever craft items, and my daughter does the same. So उनका ये मुझसे bit हो गया है कि 1 week we've been good children. Come, mom, let's open Flipkart. Let's start, putting things in the cart. So how are you guys engaging them? And do you guys do the same what I do? Or am I the only guilty mom?
No. So going back to what Pallavi said, I am completely in agreement with that, which is that if you want to keep your child off screen, the only way to really do it is to kind of do it yourself, right? Which means time, effort, wanting to pull your hair out at times. As a parent also, you realize that your child has different kind of interests, etc., that develop every week, which means that's the amount of supplies you need, right? And I'm really not saying this because we're on a Flipkart webinar, but the truth is that Flipkart really did sort us out, because it can be simple things like glue sticks to more complex things like a Lightning McQueen car. It could be the plethora of products available online. And the kind of stuff that was on Flipkart.
Thank you, Pallavi, for saving us in these times.
So I really do think that spaces like Flipkart have been a humongous blessing to. I know for me as a parent, it's been fabulous. From everything, man. Like, my daughter transitioned even from basic stuff like a diaper to an underwear, and I'm in the middle of a pandemic and I don't know where to go and buy an underwear. Kids grow
up. Real issues
in
life, if you think of it.
Yeah.
For the first time, I took hands me down for my daughter from someone. My sister lives with me, younger. She's an elder daughter. I took hands me down because I didn't know what to do, and that's like online shopping is the way.
I'm a huge fan of hand-me-downs. I'm a huge fan, and everybody should be. It keeps the world greener and more sustainable. So yes, but you can't take everything hand-me-down, especially such as like underwear or
personal items
or art and craft supplies or toys, and of course. As a parent, the one thing I've learned as a toddler parent is the reward system. And unfortunately with me, my great genius son, because he's only 3.5, but nowadays these kids know every damn thing. He's learned everything. So now he knows that if I do something, we must go to Flipkart and we must reward him. So we have to choose the toy or choose what he likes or choose his favorite cartoon t-shirt or whatever it may be and put it into cart. We may not buy it immediately till he doesn't do his task correctly. But it's been a blessing, and it's been a huge blessing. So I'm happy. I'm a happy mama.
Sure. Actually, I'll just take two perspectives to this. One as a consumer and one as a person who's actually working for Flipkart. So as a consumer,
benefits मिलते हैं ये बता दो हमारे को पहले. Flipkart में काम करने के. You get benefits on Flipkart. You get delivery quickly, or your name is on the red list. That इनको सबसे पहले सामान पहुंचेगा ये बताओ.
नहीं. Everybody is equal. Yeah. So
क्या आपको ऑफिस में आके वो साइड में सामान देना, मैं आपको ऑनलाइन पास कर ले या वीसा कर लो, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है.
नहीं. Nothing happening like that. But as a parent, I completely resonate with what you guys are saying. And as I said, right, my daughter is just 2.5, and she still says, "Ma'am, Mama, will you order this for me? Mama, will you order this for me?" So for her, like, shopping is actually ordering. Mama will be ordering this for me from someplace, and she'll get it. So if she likes something on YouTube, or if she,
I know they come up with the photos. ये चाहिए, Mama. I know. I feel you.
Right. If she's her rubber band broke, her favorite rubber band broke, Mama, please order this for me. Her favorite some vegetable fruit is over, Mama, please order this for me. And she's absolutely like, she now knows that whenever we need something, Mama will going to order it for her. I mean, going to shop is something is secondary for her because she hasn't been there so much. But yeah, Mama will order it for me is like her go-to thing for everything. Now, as a Flipkart person, actually, these are the things that keep us going. What does a customer want is exactly how we try to build the businesses on. And
आप लोग research करते होगे ना इन सब चीजों पे, कितना research होता होगा?
Yeah. So we keep on trying to figure out, basis different trends, searches, etc. What is it that the customer is looking out for? And especially for a category like kids, right? If I'm looking at kids as a portfolio, the need state changes so often, right? For us, post 25, I mean, the need states are predominantly similar. It's just, probably your choices, your taste changes. But for a toddler, you need diapers. For a toddler, you need more comfortable, or for an infant, you need more softness, cuteness, comfort, quality. But when they get into your, young kids phase, you are celebrating their chota achievements also. You are kind of rewarding them for anything that they are doing. They grow up further and they start idolizing people. They're looking up to sports people. They are looking up to some trending, actors, stars. They want to dress like them. So the need states are so diverse in this case, and here at Flipkart, that's what we are trying to do. What is it that you are looking out for? How do we make it available to you quickly, with definitely all the safety standards in place in the current scenario? And that's the goal which keeps the entire ecosystem working towards, the customer service piece. And absolutely, to add it on, there are easy returns on categories like size, fit, etc. So yeah, that's like the two perspective for me as a consumer and as a person who's working in this industry. I feel that this is like absolute necessity in today's time. Had online.
I'm going to add something there because I saw a couple of things in the chat box as well as what you all were saying. Based on what Harpreet and Pallavi were saying about, how your kids are watching all kinds of things and the daughter saying, the mother is slapping her and whatever. I think as a parent, we, because our kids, we have to normalize screen time, right? It is what it is. Our children are seeing us on our screens all the time. And it's a part of 2021. It's normal. But now, how much screen time, and that's where my reward systems really come in with my son, because how much screen time and what is the quality of screen time that they're watching is very important. So, for instance, like there's so many different platforms where you can really control those 5 kind of different things that your children are seeing. And I truly believe my kids have learned a lot from the screen. But every time they're learning from the screen, I have to go back to Flipkart because now there's a new cartoon that they're interested in or a new something, and we have to buy something of that and get it home, right? It's never ending. It's never ending.
And now it's a festive season. How are you guys prepping up? I really want to know what happens.
I have to talk about the festive season and Flipkart because I have celebrated, as all of us have, multiple birthdays, children's birthdays, adult birthdays, etc.
My party supplies and balloons and the jazz and the t-shirts. It's crazy.
Absolutely. I had a dinosaur theme, I remember, for my son in November. And November, we were neither here nor there, right? We didn't know if it was safe to start going out again because we were just kind of dying out of the first wave. And I cannot tell you, we have sorted every single thing out just because of this platform. Everything, name it, A to Z,
It's very hassle-free shopping. And for us working women, it's such a boon, man.
Absolutely. It was a fab experience. And now with festive season coming, I know where to shop. I know what to do. I'm sorted. I'm not stressed.
मुझे ना आपसे एक different perspective चाहिए. मुझे जानना है, ये तो हम consumers हैं. आप वहाँ बैठे हो. How do you prepare for festive season? Do you stock in more? How does it work for a normal consumer? As a consumer's point of view, समझाओ थोड़ा सा और सबको समझाओ कि online में होता क्या है? How do you do all? Because there's Rakhi, there's Janmashtami, this line. We're lined up with festive season. My husband's birthday, everything is for me is like now. So आपकी तरफ से क्या हो? Online.
Right. So, Harpreet, as we said, right, we kind of know, like, these are the kind of occasions that are coming up. And we know some things are beyond occasions, right? For example, there are things that need on an everyday basis. So if I talk about kids portfolio, the regular wear t-shirt chahiye, short chahiye, jeans chahiye, frocks chahiye, this is something that you need an all-time kind of thing. Then you will probably need more summer wear around May, June. You will need probably more winter around October, November, December. Then there are pockets, Rakhi Aya. Then you have probably Diwali coming in. Then you have Santa, Christmas coming in. So you need to do something around Christmas and Santa. Then you have Republic Day. So there are a lot of occasions which we keep a track on, and we know like what are the consumer needs around it. So we have been in this business for a lot of time, right? We have some historical data points available with us. Plus, we also understand the market, right? There are teams who are actually completely absorbing what the consumers are feeling, taking the feedback, working upon it in terms of selection, in terms of discoverability, etc. So that's how we try to marry it.
You guys also select what comes to you, as in you choose out of the vendors who come to you, they send you photos. I want to know this detail, because outside we don't know what's happening.
Sure.
So you get vendors requests, and then you see the catalogs you mean, and you choose and you create a collection or something for us consumers.
So I tell you, so for example, Flipkart is more like an open marketplace.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is we want to promote every seller, every small businessman in this country is free to list and sell on Flipkart, especially in today's scenarios. But yes, the teams are continuously working towards, for example, if it's let's say Christmas coming in, and that cute Santa outfits and those reindeer hairbands and all these things will start selling out. So we have category teams who are curating the selection from the lakhs of styles that are available on Flipkart and pushing them to your showcasing them to the customer base via different banner ads and promotions, etc., so that it is easier for us as a consumer to discover them as well. So I would say we are free marketplace. Everybody is free to list whatever they are selling. We encourage everybody to come and list on platform. But yes, we do curated content, and we keep on doing very, very topical content from time to time to ensure that we are very relevant and very suited to the customer needs of that hour.
Got it. Wow. This is what we don't know. What we know is कि हमने बस लिखा हमें ये चाहिए, but so much goes into putting it all together is what I wanted people to know. Rakha Shah Rice, handling my baby was very challenging. Oh, I feel you guys. We're all in this together.
We all feel
From
you.
Sman to Pallavi, me, all of us have gone through crazy times, and now we are back to online schooling. Schools have opened. I want to know, is it just challenging for me? My 4.5 years daughter is swiping it left to open YouTube this side and swiping it right when mama comes in to watch the teacher. What are the challenges you guys are facing? Like, how's it with you guys there? Well, Simon and Bobby.
Okay. The struggle is real.
I hate it when they give you these art and crafts for you to do. My kids are not
I
doing it.
can't bear it. I'm like, you know what? The school needs to pay me salary every month to do this job. I cannot do it. I cannot do it.
You guys are not alone. We're in it with you.
I literally wrote to my school last term and I was like, guys, I'm a working parent. I have another infant at home and a toddler. I cannot be printing this and doing this. And it's like, oh my God, as if just online. And hello, excuse me, till last term, I had one 3-year-old doing online. As of day before yesterday, I have one 3.5-year-old and one 2-year-old who started online. I don't even know. I have called up my principal. I said, when are you opening? Just tell me when you're opening. I'm sending my children tomorrow. Like, I can't do this. It is crazy. It's crazy. I'm really praying that, we follow the global model, everyone worldwide. Then everyone will be like, oh, but India is different. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. But you know what? Globally, schools opened before adults were even vaccinated. Over here, we're all vaccinated now. Come on, open school.
Mera dil nahi hai small. My son's school's open. And he's telling me, Mom, can I please go to school? I tell him, you're not a soldier. You'll not go for war. I will not. As much as I want my daughter to go, because she is one fireball and she needs to get out now. My son is one little baby for me, who needs to be cajoled all the time. I'm like, Bacha, you're not going out. This little thing can go because she needs to step out in the world. But he is one blue. I think you're not going anywhere. So,
but you know what the amazing part is? The amazing part is that my son was actually in playgroup and like K1, whatever, till the pandemic hit. And, adjusting to online is still impossible for him versus my daughter, who has never been to school because she's only 2 years old. For her, she's always watched her brother, as even Pallavi said about, her daughter's cousins. She's always watched Zephyr do school online. So for her, school means online. She doesn't know better. Sad, very sad.
My school's name is online classes.
I know. They'll get to go back.
A very good school.
I think all parents need to put out that energy together. Like, come on.
What are your thoughts? How are you struggling with this online? What are your challenges with online?
My actually experience has been very recent. So she just turned 2.5, and it's been about, I think, a month and a half that I enrolled her into a school. It's like a play school kind of a scenario for her. And, in an ideal scenario, you would expect she'll go out, she'll meet new friends, she'll start living without you, just coping up with her friends, enjoying with them. All that doesn't happen here in the online world. So she knows there's a class, there's a teacher who's speaking, but there's so much of communication gap happening. She's speaking softly, the teacher is not able to hear. Teacher says something, she's not listening. She's running here and there.
Struggles.
Yeah, because she's new, right? And even if I talk about grown-up kids, I mean, I'm sure online learning is trying to do its bit of probably some knowledge transfer, but this whole experience of school, right? You know, that friendship between people, the students, the teacher-student bond, that sports day, school picnics, all these things are not happening today. So yeah, while online learning is there and we all are having our shares of trouble, but I mean, I think that entire ecosystem of school is still far away in this current scenario. I mean, we are not even close to what school used to offer to us.
So my daughter, what she says, I have to tell you, it's very interesting. So my son is not interested in the classes at all. Ma'am is speaking, he's not interested. My daughter whiz. So she has a thing called saying, ma'am. She keeps saying, ma'am. I'm like, Aya, you ask her. She said, no, ma'am is not listening to me. And she keep on repeating, ma'am. I get so, I said, मैं इतनी irritated हो औरों की mothers, you know, on the other side, and the teacher, she has become like, I want attention. She's become attention-seeking child. That's why that fireball needs to go to school, I feel. My son can still manage.
My daughter is completely opposite. She'll speak something. Let's say teacher said something and she's spoken. The teacher was not able to hear. Then she'll ask her to repeat and she'll be like, nahi, ab nahi karna mujhe. I've spoken. I'll not repeat.
I'm logging off. She's learned these very interesting words. She's learned how to type in the chat box. So she knows only thumb, heart. So you know, she like, wait. She will put on the chat box and I find it all so cute. And she'll put a heart to the teacher. Or she'll say, ma'am will say, did you understand ayat? She'll like, wait. She'll not say, okay, no. She'll go to the chat box, she'll write a thumbs up. So they're learning a lot, but then sometimes online learning now scares the hell out of me because what they are reading or learning or hearing is not something we want them to, you know, consume as parents. Jitna marzi hum watch kar le yaar, YouTube gives you, matching videos, which could be anything that they're watching. It's scary at times. Nonetheless, guys, the third wave is predicted, and I was 100% sure there's no third wave until I spoke to a lot of pediatricians, doctors, because of the work that I do. And they have told me there is third wave, you know, get ready for it and you better get prepared and there might be a lockdown. Heaven forbid that happens. How are you guys going to manage it for a few more months? Can you please give me some tips? And I'm sure all moms.
I'm going to say
Run away to Dubai.
No, I'm going to say something to every person listening over here right now. Yes, there is going to be a third wave. There's been a third wave in the UK right now and in Europe. Europe is going through its third wave right now. Having said that, please let's be very, very, very positive about this third wave because it is not going to be what the second wave was. We were foolish before the second wave. We learned, we're vaccinated. Our kids are very, very close to being vaccinated. The vaccine is already out in Dubai. Sinopharm is approved. The kids have already started getting vaccinated there. Our turn is coming soon. All the adults are vaccinated or in the process of being vaccinated, at least in our kind of social environment. So let's just be really positive that this wave is going to come. People may fall sick, but there's going to be no hospitalizations. The death rate is going to be minimal, if not negligible. And that's the thought process that all of us need to have right now. We cannot put fear out anymore. It has to just be focused faith and just knowing we're going to get through this. And this is almost the end. That's it. That's the only thought we have to have.
After you're on mute.
Sorry, Pallavi, what are your thoughts? I'm with you, but Simone, totally, it's all about being positive. There's nothing else. You know, we only have hope. And there's nothing else that we have. Pallavi, what are your thoughts? And then we'll sum it up.
Yeah, I'll just say 2 or 3 pointers here. Let's say even if lockdown happens and even if things go to some extent, I think one thing that all of us in this group, like as parents, one thing that we need to take care of is like self-care and, you know, seeking help and we need. I mean, we should not try to be superhumans trying to solve for everything, do everything, because if we are not happy, we are not calm, we can definitely not make our kids calm, right? And if we are anxious, we are frustrated, we don't know what to do, that is somewhere the kids will get the vibe and their anxiety levels and everything will go up. So I would say first thing is please take care of yourself, make out time for your something that you like, probably half an hour of a series episode, or some music, some exercise, some dancing, whatever you like to do.
Or
That
some online shopping on Flipkart.
yeah. So yeah, definitely. Number one is that. Second is, I would say, talk to the kids. I mean, my kid is very young, but I'm sure the elder ones who understand what's going around, who actually who hear the news, who get disturbed. I mean, it's very, very, very important that we talk to them. We assure them that, things are okay. We are there with you. And it's not as bad as it looks like. If we take our precautions, if we are cautious, we'll be okay. So that reassurance is very, very necessary, I would say. And third, I would say, like we've summed up, right? Make time, figure out what engagement activities you can do with your kids, just in case lockdown happens again and you don't have any more help, etc. Adjust your schedules, do something that you can keep them engaged, stock up on activity materials, etc. And see whatever best you can do to keep them engaged and mind free from what's happening around and any kind of disturbing element. But yeah, as Simone said, I think it should be very much better than the second wave. Most of us are vaccinated, and we know that this COVID is not that severe for kids to that compared to adults, right? So not much. There are rumors about it being impacting the kids more and all, but there's no scientific evidence to that. So please,
exactly, it's all just fear-based thoughts.
Yeah.
I really hope you guys are.
Sorry, I just want to say one more thing. Again, not because we're on a Flipkart webinar, but honestly, as a parent, if that lockdown happens or whatever it may be, just go on to Flipkart and buy as many craft supplies
Craft items, yes.
Yeah.
Craft.
Just do it. Just buy everything and just keep it.
And give it to your kids and say continue. Rest to be continued.
Play. There's so much creativity that comes out of open-ended play. I learn so much when I sit with my kids and I do all of this stuff. All you need is basic things. You get it on Flipkart, just buy it, keep it. It's always going to come in use. Always.
So all that two of my lovely speakers have spoken about is being creative, being positive, and that's, I think, how we are going to get through this, guys. There is no other choice, actually. So you made that conscious choice of staying positive throughout this time. I want to take up some questions from all of you. You guys can write your questions on the chat box. I'll pick them up, and we have 15 minutes to do this. So please share your thoughts and your questions. Guys, can we all be on mute? I'm so sorry, but I'm requesting because everybody gets disturbed. Let me see who's not on. So my first question is, my panelists, sudden change in behavior of children, as it was complete inward behavior because they were not able to go out. So that means that they were very, I think, Madhavi, have you asked this? Okay, what I understand is there's a sudden change in the behavior of children. They become very completely inward, and because they were not able to go out. So what do we do with kids like this? So I also have my brother-in-law's son. So the elder one is very, very outgoing, and the younger one is very, very shy, and the family is not like that. But the child has not seen the outside world. He's 1.5 years old, and he's completely confined at home. So whenever he sees us also, he becomes very, he runs away, he shies away, he'll hide behind Didi. And I always suggest the mother also, my sister-in-law, that it's okay, you don't need to push the child to say, hello, bolo, namaste karo. No, don't get the child out of their comfort zone. Let them be. Slowly introduce people to the child. It's okay. And someone even asked about kids going to school. It's going to be shocking. Yes, it's going to be shocking. Kids who have not seen school, they don't know how it looks like or how to mingle with so many. Like my daughter online, she keeps saying, ma'am, 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 ma'am. So imagine when kids go to school, how it's going to be.
But I want to say something, Harpreet. You know what? To the mom who said that she's scared about what the shock will be. I actually want to say something there. So before the second wave started, our school started something called play groups. So instead of having full-time school, it was like activity classes, and they called like in a bubble about 7 kids in at a time.
Oh, they called physically?
Physically.
Oh, our school did the same thing online, but.
So ours was physical. So we went in. This was right before the second wave hit. Okay, so everything seemed hunky-dory at that point. So as parents, we agreed that we're a bubble of 7. We knew, everyone's whereabouts. Anyway, whatever. We took our kids to school. We took them and I thought, oh God, we're going to have to deal with the whole shebang again. They're going to cry. They're not going to want to leave us. My son and all the other 6 children have run inside school. They didn't even look back to see where's mama, didi kahan hai, ye kahan hai. They didn't care. They saw their slide, their swing, their ball pool. They've run in happy, happy, happy. They were so happy to be together. They were so happy to be in a playground kind of environment. They were happy. I think kids are very resilient. Our kids are going to be very happy when they're away from us and back in a nice, fun environment.
Because they're done with us.
They're done with us.
There's another mom who's asking that the mom and me became very cranky by handling the child. How do we combat the situation? What I feel, I'm going to ask Simon and Pallavi also, acceptance. There are a lot of times that I'm juggling a lot and I get ready that my day is not going right. I affirm a lot and I keep telling myself that, it's going to get better than this. It's going to get better than this. Life's going to be much better. I get angry at my kids, but I accept it. That, okay, I did this mistake. I apologize to my kids at times and I try and calm myself. Only if I am calm, they are going to be calm. What do you do, Sima? Pallavi, what do you do? 2.5 years. Please tell us.
Yeah, actually, it's tough, right? So what are the things that I do? As I said, I make some time for something that I like that can get my mind off what's happening around me, right? And something that gives me a breaker. I do reach out to my my partners. I live with my in-laws to help out wherever they can, right? And so the whole idea is that if you accept and if you are able to calm your mind, your crankiness might probably go down than where it is right now, because you are anxious, you are feeling so much of pressure, you are in so much of stress that is bound to pass on. So unless you are able to free up your mind to some extent, I think that is the key that I follow. Right? How do I get a little calm? How do I feel a little relaxed, and then probably pass on the same message to the kid as I go on.
The one thing that works really well for me, firstly, I have to say, I'm so happy to see all your cameras on and all your lovely smiles and all your lovely faces. It's so nice to be able to see so many people. But I just want to say that, as a parent, I truly have understood that the most important thing that a child functions best when they have a routine, right? So a routine is of absolute importance, not just for the child, but also for the mother. Because again, like Pallavi said, and I say this all the time, when you sit in a plane, they will tell you, put the oxygen mask on yourself before you put the oxygen mask on your child. Because if you can't help yourself, you cannot help anybody forget about your child. So for me, my routine is such where my kids go to sleep between 7:30 and 8 p.m. every day, because that is scientifically proved that children should not get too much access to unnatural light that happens in the night, right? We put on lights and etc. versus in the day.
Simone, I'm sending my kids to your house.
So you know what that does is that gives me so much of me time in the night while they're asleep. I get my me time. It's time to kind of work on myself, on things that I want to do. If it means I want to watch Netflix, I want to watch Netflix. If I want to shop on Flipkart, I want to shop on Flipkart. It gives me time for me time, and me time is of utmost importance. And I understand that a lot of parents don't have help and support at home, right? Which is why put your children to sleep early, get them onto a routine, and you're going to be a happy mama for sure. And your kids are going to thrive much better when they have a consistent being the key word, routine.
Okay, my next, I hope that answers. This is a beautiful answer, Simon, I must say, and thanks, Pallavi. So next question is, मेरे बच्चे तुम्हारे घर आ रहे हैं Simon, मैं उनको बॉम्बे पास कर रही हूँ, उनको रूटीन में डालना बहुत जरूरी हो गया है. The next question is, my daughter was so fond of going to school, but because of online classes, she has started disliking even the word of school. How sad is that? Yeah. My daughter wants to go to school. My son wants to go to school. They want to just throw me out wherever they can and just run away in the bus or the car or whatever school, they whatever takes them to school. What are your thoughts, Simon? How are your kids reacting to online school? And do you think they are? I'm sure you just said your son is like keen on.
Forget about my kids. I can't take it anymore. Forget about I can't deal with it. I heard, last week I was like, I was telling my husband, I'm like, school is starting. Normally it would be like, yay, school is starting, school. Now I'm like, oh God, school is starting. Matlab, when Friday comes, I'm like, yaar, Friday hai. Matlab, wow, I can sleep tomorrow. Means, I feel कि मेरा weekend आ गया है. We are back in school. It's very, Baba, please, we need schools to open soon. It's not easy. And no one can even pretend and act like it's easy, no matter how old your child is. The younger they are, I feel the harder, because the parent has to sit with them throughout the thing. I can't leave my kids and walk out of the room, right?
And they don't want to do the art and craft, and I keep pasting it, and I hate it, but I have no choice. But how's your daughter taking it? She wants to go to school? How is it?
I don't know, frankly. I mean, she's too young. It's just 1 month for her to even be exposed to the online classes. But yeah, she does get excited, when looking at her cousins or probably some elder girls of the society that, I will go to school with her. I will go to school with that bhaiya, that didi. So far she's excited about it. Let's see how it turns out. But on the lady who raised this question, just one 2 cents that probably she's missing her friends whom she was, getting in touch with during those times. So just figure out if you can arrange some calls with them, or just
video calls. Video calling.
So that
Zoom calls I do with my daughter.
Yeah.
Okay, so how to support our kids emotionally during pandemic? There are little kids who might or might not express their emotions explicitly. So I have 2 young moms here who can answer this beautifully.
So I think, I brought this up earlier and I'm going to say it again. Please don't be afraid or ashamed of seeking professional help. It is very important. My husband does therapy. I have done therapy in the past when I've required it. I don't require it on a weekly basis. I'm not like just going to throw my money when I don't need to. But when I need therapy, when I'm going through a tough time in my life, when I'm going through a tough circumstance that I don't have control over, I know that to be a responsible parent and to be a responsible adult to myself, I need to take professional help. Not my best friend, not my mommy, dadi, chachi. No, I don't want their advice. I want the advice of somebody professional who can help me or help my child overcome whatever we may be experiencing. So please, 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 I really, there are so many services online right now, especially because of the pandemic, that are free of cost. You can just reach out to people. There are so many communities where you can talk and get correct advice. So please make sure that whatever advice you're getting is correct, and never be ashamed to reach out for help.
I want your doctor's number also, because I really want to speak to your doctor. But acha doctor. Pallavi, any thoughts on this? Or Simona summed it up?
I think Simona summed it up well. I mean, just talk to your child, figure out what he's feeling, and if you feel a need, definitely go for help. I mean, I would definitely say that.
Okay. So preschoolers who haven't seen school till now would have learned so many interpersonal skills, but now they have to start from scratch. This reality hai yaar. Hey, this is how it's not your child, my child. It's everybody's children who are of that age group or that bracket. So I'm sure मुझे कई बार बहुत लगता है कि Arhan ने बहुत miss out कर दी चीजें, because he was in his pre-teens with his friends and they could have done so much together. He was a football enthusiast. अब तो पता नहीं शुरू से शुरू करेगा football की classes अपनी. But then I feel he's not alone in this. उसके age के सारे बच्चे वही करने वाले हैं. So it's okay. I'm sure they'll all figure out their own ways. हमें लगता है बहुत challenging होता है बच्चों के लिए, but they accept it much more gracefully than I think we elders do.
100% kids are far superior to adults. Please, far superior. They're more resilient. They're more adaptable to change, because so much changes for them all the time. Versus us, who are, the problem. Let's understand one thing: the problem is never the child. The problem is always us, the parent, and that's the truth.
With you. My son section was being changed in school, guys. I took it up with the principal. No, he's very young. He's in nursery prep with same kid. He cannot change his friends in school. He was cushioned, and I kept writing mails to school. And my son asked me, why you don't want me to change my section? I said, Bacha, because your friends are saying you're very comfortable. He's like, no, mom, I want to make more friends. That day I realized I was limiting his growth. I wanted to be in the comfort zone that I am in with my friends. He doesn't want to. So all these kids are going to learn on their own. They will figure their way out. And now, before we close this, I want to announce the winner of the Flipkart contest. which Parvi is going to flash on the screen, and the winner is Shweta Bokilkar. Are you sharing a gift with me, Shweta?
Give me a minute. I'm just sharing it. Give me a minute.
We will flash her name. Flipkart is the best service. Handling my baby is challenging. Okay, we all have same issues. And Flipkart has a great service. और तुम्हारी quick तो इतनी अच्छी service है ना Pallavi.
Thank you.
Look
Wow.
look at that baby.
Yay, she's so cute.
Yeah.
So many congratulations,
Anaya.
Shweta.
Anaya's going to be a happy baby. Her mama just won something.
Yeah. Many congratulations, Shweta.
And that's it, guys. So it was a
Yeah, we can see Shweta there.
Put the camera on.
Let's see Shweta.
Shweta. Congratulations.
Hey, Shweta, many congratulations.
Hi.
So much must have gone into, messing her up.
Yeah.
The effort. So I think
So
that's
many more
about it.
cameras are coming on, guys. It's so wonderful to see all of your faces. Really. I feel really happy.
Lovely. So I think with the questions, we've announced the winner. We are good to go. Thank you guys for joining in today. Thank you, Pallavi. Thank you, Simon. You were wonderful
Thank you,
panelists,
everyone.
and you all were wonderful audience. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You all can leave. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.